So, hi, I'm Dean from 4A. Rolling into GDCs when everything really started to fall apart. We had, for the first time, because of the fact that we'd finished Metro 3. It was the first time we were going to be sending a lot of people to GDC. I think when it was all said and done, we were sending 35 people, which, as things started to pick up, I was getting really nervous about that. Google had already pulled out, Microsoft had already pulled out, a lot of the big names had already pulled out. And I said, okay, well, we're not going to risk it either. And unfortunately for us, because of the fact that I wasn't going to send people anyway, we went ahead and canceled all the flights with the hopes of at least getting back the taxes on the flights. And I told my executive assistant to take care of it, and she was ridiculously too efficient about it and did it immediately. And probably about 4 or 5 hours after we had canceled all the flights, they announced that everything was shutting down. So as you can imagine, that we quickly lost about 75,000 euros for flights that we would have at least got credit for, which now we got nothing for. Also, the hotel that we had booked, they didn't give us anything back. I mean, it was all said that we lost about 150,000 just in travel expenses. So that's kind of how we rolled into the beginning of the period. Initially, Malta was really, really good. I live across the street from the office. I live, another 30 seconds to the grocery store. My gym is down the street. It's all very, very convenient and easy, and people are very relaxed. So I was surprised to see the Maltese government take such a hard line on it quickly. They were already checking temperatures in the grocery stores. They wouldn't let you in. I mean, if you didn't, if there was anything out of line, they just wouldn't let you in. And early on, again, Malta was really good about things. We were quick to shut things down, and I thought we were somewhat the poster child on how to do it correctly. Unfortunately, later on, they decided to open up earlier than they should and didn't check at the airports. And now we're right up there with some of the worst in Europe. Ukraine was different. Ukraine was much slower for things to start happening. So even though we had locked down in Ukraine in Malta because we had to, the Ukraine office was still open because there just wasn't the need to do it. Conversely, though, Ukraine, when it did catch up, it became much more problematic. And even though for example, as soon as they shut down the metro system, we needed to shut down the office because 90% of our people get to the office via the metro. So, we looked at solutions as to, busing people in, taxis, all that kind of thing. And it just didn't make a lot of sense. So then we shut down as well, probably in May or something like that, whenever everybody else was. We closed the office. We closed the office in Malta. We closed the office in Ukraine. And then the Malta office came back much sooner than the Ukrainian office did. And we actually, when things reopened, we made it mandatory that you had to work in the office. Ukraine, on the other side, even when they reopened the metro system, which was many months down the line, there were still a lot of very nervous people, and for obvious reasons. Like I said, it's a difference between walking along the seafront in the open air and getting on a metro with, crammed people. When we did reopen the Kyiv office, we then made it optional. And I was trying to keep things the same in both offices to not have separate rules, but it became complicated with trying to follow we made a number of mistakes. I should say I made a number of mistakes. And I don't know if there was any good rule book on how to follow, and I asked everybody what they were doing. And, Kiev was a perfect example where we reopened too early, and we actually had quite a bit of backlash on it. Things like, you don't care about us, and it's tough. There, like I said, there were no good decisions. It was just a question of bad decisions. And I went back and forth. I vacillated. I closed the offices. I reopened them. After the last kind of ugly, we're opening, we're not opening, optional, not optional. When we opened things again, we made it optional, and I said it was going to be optional through the end of the year, period. And I just said we're not going to vacillate on this for both offices until the end of the year. It's optional, and that's where we're at right now. It's all hard, and I don't have the answers yet because we haven't gotten through to the other side. I mean, I know that I certainly have made a lot of mistakes, I've told my people a number of times I'll do better in the next pandemic. So if I had to do it over again, immediately when everybody else started to go to optional, that's what I would have done. As it wore on, I felt the production dropped off. I think that initially it was fine. I think, we were prepared for it, mainly because we had just opened the new office in Ukraine. That was just in January of this year. And when we set up the new office, we set it up with telecommuting in mind, just in case, not necessarily this would happen, but just in case we needed to do it. And at the same time, we'd upgraded all the networking hardware in the Malta office. So we were very much prepared, which was ideal because once we decided we were sending everybody home, we were able to get things up and running in a couple of days. When I first received the email about doing this, I was really interested to hear what other people were saying because I'm curious. Like I said earlier, there are no good answers. Just picking the worst of the bad, or the best of the bad, I should say. And I don't know. Fundamentally, I just don't think our industry works for this type of work. I used to do game development back in the 80s, externally, and it's fine. It was only 2 people. I mean, or even when it was 7 people, you could kind of get away with it. But we have 150 people, and there's just too many of those meetings that happen outside on the, over cigarettes or in the coffee room, or times that, you can't always time creativity. I really felt that initially people were good, but as time wore on, and even now, I really feel that it's hurting the development. At the end of the day, I still don't believe that game development is something that can be done externally. There's just you can certainly do mundane tasks and just the normal. Okay, we have this work to do, but when it gets to the creative part, something about being on a Zoom meeting, I don't care if you have beers or not over Zoom, it's still not the same as all sitting around the table. And even for us, part of our studio culture is that we normally have beers out on the terrace on Fridays, or company parties, a team building. All that stuff has been put on hold, and that's difficult as well. I still believe that even more so now than early on is that people are realizing that it's not that great to work from home either. I mean, it all sounds great, and yeah, it's nice that you don't have to get dressed or anything like that. But you also don't have that interaction with people, and I think that for those people that liked it, it's probably going to be complicated. But for I think the majority of people are going to be just itching to get back. And I mean, that's case in point, even in our Ukraine office, where it right now is optional, and we actually had to. We've had to cycle people now, and that who get to work in the office because we don't want it to be full. So out of the 90 people that we have in that office, 60 want to be there, even though they have to take the metro, and even though the Ukraine, COVID situation is very bad, we still have, 2/3 of the office that want to be there. There's also just the elephant in the room that I think that everybody's just tired of this, work or not work, or, office or not office. I think there's just this kind of mental wear and tear that everybody has on them from going through this for 10 months. I know for me, I'm not someone that gets depressed. I don't even believe it. It's just like, again, but it's wore on me. It's tiring. It's like, Jesus, okay, is this over with yet? And again, when you're trying to work on something creative, and you're like, damn, this is not great. It's hard to get those energies going. I don't know if we ever go back to the way things were before. I mean, certainly even going, for example, talking about GDC, I will never send 30-something people to a show again. And even if there was a reason, I'd be really hesitant to do it again. And, especially for me, specifically, I've been in this industry for, going on 40 years now. We all know that you don't really need to go to those shows. We all know that. We all know that it's just an excuse to go socialize and drink. I mean, that's the reality of it. And once people admit the fact that, hey, you don't have to go to these. Every one of the talks is available on the internet. Every single thing that's said or done, you can read about it online. You don't have to go. But, convincing people that was the case has been almost impossible over the years. Now it's been proven. I never had a single face-to-face meeting, and this was an acquisition, which is, had this been pre-COVID, I would have probably been in 50 meetings. I'd been on a plane that entire, month, those months leading up to that. So the fact that we know that it can be done will change things. Thanks for your time, and I don't know what else.